Hi, Gary Koch here, and it's a pleasure for me to introduce a man who's had success at amateur golf at both the national and state levels for over 40 years. Now, as an announcer, introducing him on the first tee, I think would probably be a very tedious endeavor, and I imagine it would go a little something like this. Next on the tee, he's a four-time FSGA Player of the Year. He's a former state amateur champion, a former state amateur match play champion, a former mid-amateur champion, a former senior amateur champion, and a former senior match play champion. He's Doug LaCrosse. Now, in his local golf circle here in the Tampa Bay area, he's known by several other names. My personal favorite, Mr. Busy, which he really isn't. His business, self-storage, allows him a lot of free time, and he spends a lot of that time playing and practicing. Now, another one is the Action Hero. Now, this goes back to when he found an Action Hero workout on the internet and wanted his trainer to take him through it. As you might suspect, that one didn't last too long. Now, around the Panacea Country Club Pro Shop, it's Mr. Cheap for his reluctance to put his hand down into his pocket. Now, I know he was a USF Bull, but perhaps he could have been a Florida Gator with such short arms. But seriously, I've been playing golf with Doug now for 20 plus years, and the one thing that sticks out in my mind is, despite all his success, is how much he loves to compete, and he loves to win. So in summarizing his golf game, well, it's pretty simple. His driving accuracy is legendary. In fact, some have actually compared him to Calvin Peete, the man who led the PGA Tour in driving accuracy for the entire decade of the 80s. I'm here to tell you, too, that his putting and his short game were their tour quality as well. When you play with him, you're surprised if he doesn't make at least one shot from off the green and 2 or 3 putts from 20 plus feet. And I'm here to tell you that playing against that can be pretty infuriating. Now, Doug LaCrosse, the man, well, he's a wonderful family man. He's a great father to daughters Kathy and Cindy, and he's an even better pa to his grandson Alex. He's a successful businessman. He owns and operates numerous self-storage facilities around the country, and I'm here to tell you that you couldn't ask for a better friend. So I'm happy to see Doug LaCrosse receive this award and honor that is so richly deserved. Congratulations, Doug.
Born and raised in Tampa, Florida, Doug was introduced to the game in 1965 when his parents took him to a local club and got him involved with the junior golf program.
My parents took me to the old Carrollwood Golf Club up on Waters Avenue in Tampa, and that was to get rid of us kids during the day. And there was the par 68 golf course, Carrollwood Village. That's where I really learned, and we had some mentors there that they ran us around up there.
When it came time for college, Doug went to Hillsborough Community College, where he joined the golf team at the urging of a friend. He played on the team at HCC for 2 years before receiving a scholarship to the University of South Florida. Doug captured one victory while competing for the Bulls, winning the Florida Intercollegiate in November of 1975.
That was for South Florida, and the claim to fame there was we beat the Gators, or I beat Phil Hancock, and he was certainly an all-star and a great player for the Florida Gators, so I beat him in that thing, which was fun, which was nice, but that's gone by the wayside now.
He turned professional after graduating from college, but after a few years of playing on mini tours, Doug decided to take a step back from competitive golf and focus on work. He played recreationally with friends and family, but didn't return to competitive golf until the early 90s. Doug got a taste of winning again at an FSGA one-day event, and he was back.
First tournament that I won, struggling in the golf game, and it was a one-day event that Cal Korf was the president of the USG or the FSGA, and it was at East Bay, and I don't know what I shot, but I nipped everything by probably one shot, and that kind of gave me a little taste of playing more competitive and getting beaten, but I finally won one, so that was a very special time.
Around the same time, Doug began competing in the FSGA Club Team Championship. There was a big rivalry among the clubs from Tampa. Doug helped Avila Golf and Country Club capture the trophy for 6 straight years.
There was 3 teams in Tampa, and Avila made up a great state team, and there was a nucleus of 4 or 5 players that played on it, and it was a battle between Bloomingdale and Avila throughout the state. And we would send 2, 3 teams. It was that competitive. And
in 1992, Doug captured the biggest win of his amateur career, winning the 73rd Florida Amateur Championship. The field faced thunderstorms and high winds that week at Bonita Bay Club, and the championship was shortened to 36 holes, but it was Doug who prevailed.
Well, it was special. You're beating the best of the best, and the best of the best players were there, and whether it's 36 holes, 18 holes, or 72 holes. Very special. It got me in, and it gave me a little bit more confidence, without a doubt. Mm-hmm. And from, I think it was 92, so I would have been probably 42 at the time, 43. And, it just branched out, and it made me want to play more. I wanted to play more competitive. I wanted to play in the big amateur tournament.
He considers this the biggest win of his career, not just because of the prestige of the tournament, but because of who he defeated to win the title. Another 2020 FSGA Hall of Fame inductee, Rick Wolf.
Rick was the guy to beat, and I said this at the Florida Cup we had this year. He was somebody that if you were going to win a tournament, you had to beat Rick Wolf, and I love him to death. We've been partners together. We've been opponents against each other. We've been on the same team for the FSGA or the USGA state team, which was fabulous times. We got to travel to 2 or 3 of those. But in the state of Florida, it was Rick Wolf, and he pushed me. He made me a better player, and if I was going to compete, wanted to win, you had to beat Rick Wolf.
The Tampa native went on to add victories at the 1995 Mid-Amateur Championship, the 1996 Amateur Match Play Championship, and was named a 3-time FSGA Amateur Player of the Year. He also captured a number of 4-ball victories, including 3 straight 4-ball championship titles with Joe Alfieri. Doug saw success at the national level, competing in over 15 USGA championships, but one stood out the most, and not from a golf perspective, the 1994 U.S. Mid-Amateur Championship at Hazeltine. After experiencing back problems in the practice round, Doug went to get it checked out and was soon rushed to the hospital with fears of heart problems. Who was the first person to visit him in the hospital? Rick Wolf.
One of the first people to see him in the hospital again. As much as we hated to lose each other, but a few years later he had an issue, and you know what, I was one of the first ones he called, and it was pretty damn special. So that's what golf does. You're opponents, but then at the end of the day, you shake hands and you move forward and you go from there.
Doug and his wife Pam have 2 daughters, Kathy and Cindy, and 1 grandchild. Cindy took after her father and picked up the game of golf. She went on to play golf at the University of Louisville, and she played on the LPGA Tour, while also competing in multiple U.S. Women's Open championships.
One of the special parts when they announced Cindy LaCrosse playing from Tampa, Florida, and it brought tears to my eyes. It's pretty special when your daughter's playing in something like that.
Doug took another shot at professional golf when he turned 50 in the early 2000s. He spent the next 5 or 6 years competing on the senior tours, but soon realized he was missing something: the FSGA.
I believe I said to Jim Denick, I said, Jim, I realized that the FSGA is my home. That's where I belong. I like it. I'm comfortable there. And, so that was kind of the deal. So it wasn't too hard to go out that way, but you just wanted to see how good you were. I had some good rounds. I made some cuts. I probably played in 20 events in 2025, made some money, shot 63 one time. And, it was fun. And I met some friends out there that I still have to this day. So it was very good.
Since becoming a senior amateur, Doug has earned the 2013 Senior Player of the Year by winning both the Senior Amateur Championship and the Senior Amateur Match Play. He has competed in 2 U.S. Senior Amateurs, 2 U.S. Senior Opens, and added a Super Senior Amateur win in 2018. Along with his individual accomplishments, Doug has been a staple in FSGA team competitions for over 30 years, competing in many Southeastern Challenges and Florida Cups, creating lifelong memories with players from around the state and the country.
It's great, and the camaraderie is fine. You know what, everybody wants to win, and at the end of the day, we support the guys that won, and we kind of sulk a little bit, but I haven't had that the last 2 years.
Doug has given almost 60 years of his life to the game of golf, and the game has given him so much in return.
You learn a lot about yourself and about the people you play with. You know what it takes If you want to be the best, you want to beat the best, you got to put in the hours. I mean, it's not going to come easy. It's not going to come free. It's something that only you can do. I can't think of too many. I don't think I have any bad person that I wouldn't want to play golf with, but it's special. You're on your own. You can't blame anybody but yourself. You can't blame the golf course. You can't. It humbles you. You think you're on top of the world one day, and you're right from the bottom looking up, and it's special. It's a great game, and I can't thank the FSGA for they've just done a great job, and the players that I met, Billy Barnes, there's some down in the South that I don't like to really mention too much about, but Owen, he's just a great player, and there's better players coming, and I have nothing but respect for all of them. It's been great to me.
Doug joins a remarkable group of individuals in the FSGA Hall of Fame. The Florida State Golf Association would like to congratulate him on this amazing accomplishment and thank him for all he has done for the game of golf in Florida.
People I need to thank, I'd have to thank Ponce. Henry Costello was the pro that kind of was a little bit of a mentor to me. Gil Gonzalez came. He was there for 30-something years, 35 years. He came off the tour, playing the tour. And I had to ask him, what was it like? And you always want to compete against the best. And I figured, well, this guy played on the tour, maybe I could compete against him. We never really had a good match. But Gil was a big help. Avila, the Sierra family, I joined out there, and we had driving range, and a lot of the members, Bob Cowie, Rick Wolf, I got to thank Rick. They're very special out there. I would say, I think the people I grew up with, Charlie Bales, Jess Bales, Mr. Bales, he is my mentor, Mr. Bales is. We've been to Europe a couple of times, the four of us playing golf over there, but we're lifetime friends. And Gary Cook, he's a very special person to me. We've got a great game going now. I'm not too sure who's winning the money, but I like my chances right now. And he's been a good friend, a close friend, and I thank him. We enjoy each other's company and families and so forth and so on. So it's pretty special. Gosh, I didn't think of anybody else. I know I'm missing some people. Steve Ursley, great senior player. I should go down to the list here. My partners, by the way, was Joe Alafieri. I want to thank him because together we did pretty well. Joe Alafieri, Steve Ursley, John Vinciano. He came out of the blue when we won a tournament together as a 4-ball. Rick Herper. We shot 64 at TP City at Sawgrass, and had to win the 4-ball in 1992. So it's going back a few years. But Cal did the best he possibly could with the money we had, and he was always on top of it and always on the go. But Jim Demick came in and just took it to the top, as far as I'm concerned. And I think it's the model that a lot of the other golf committees or state golf associations should take a look at. And whether it be the internet, whether it be the tournaments we run, or whether we register, everything is first class. And I just can't thank him and all the employees enough. Very special.